we continue to module 2, where the module 2 we're going to study about and also sustainable environment into architecture, where the scope is interior design, by the way. Okay, right. So interior designers are being asked to create spaces that protect the health, safety, and well-being of the people who live, work, and play in the interior environments that they design. Aligned with the space's design, consideration should also be given to the global ecosystem that support life on the planet. So basically, for the this module, we're gonna check on timeline, rise of environmentally responsible design, environmentally responsible design approach, environmentally responsible design precepts, nature as a model for design, consequence and consideration towards nature, and also handover principle. Right. Right. If we look at into timeline of sustainable design on also sustainable environment into architecture. So it started from ancient world and go to market economy, industrial revolution, Sierra Club, no? So we're gonna check in detail for the Sierra Club and also a day celebration and also UN environmental program, UN sustainability, finite resources, also Kyoto Protocol, and also increasing urbanization, right? There is a relationship of humans and nature in the ancient world. By the way, nature was regarded with a and fear. People were thought to be helpless in the face of its power. Architecture in the ancient cities was by its very nature environmentally responsible. Construction technology was based on the manual labor, working with regionally available materials that satisfied the demands of climate and topography. However, the needs to honor the gods, which were believed to control daily life, and the case for eternal life established a mandate for buildings with exceptional durability using stone. Contemporaneous building technology, not all of which is fully understood in the 21st century, and the available resources, including slave labor, temples, and palaces, were built to be indestructible. With the design and construction of buildings that had an extended lifetime, they manipulated the environment to create artifacts that were in continuous use for multiple generations. So basically, the old time people, yeah, the old people, they are constructed the structure where it is really sustained and which is long lasting. These ancient societies were not always at one with nature. Right, in terms of market economy, there is a few things that I'm going to share. So it started like mid 1800 century, changing the relationship of the natural and human environments. Machines were developed that use natural resources to create an economy based on acquisition of the symbols of wealth. Okay, there is a subjection of nature's forces to man, which is included the machinery, application of chemistry to industry and agriculture, steam navigation, railways, electric telegraphs, deforestation for cultivation, and also canalization of rivers. So this is the stuff where it is related to nature, by the way. Alright, so we go for the Sierra Club, founded as the guardian of the environment on May 28, 1892 in United States by American preservationist John Muir. Was a major organization in the world committed to achieving a vision of a humanity living in harmony with nature. Recent focuses of the club include promoting sustainable energy, mitigating global warming, and opposing the use of coal. The club's missions are to explore, enjoy, and protect the wild places of the earth, to practice and promote the responsible use of the earth ecosystems and resources, to educate and enrich humanity to protect and restore the quality of the natural and human environment, to use all lawful means to carry out these objectives. So basically, this is the stuff that people can join this Sierra Club, where it is related to sustainability, living in harmony with nature, and there's so many activities that relate to the nature environment. By the way, this Sierra Club, it is focuses on the in sustainable energy, mitigating global warming, and opposing the use of the coal. Right. So they also add the celebration as well. And also, okay, this is important. By the way, United Nations Environmental Program, it is established in 1971 at the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden. The concept of sustainable development was shaped. As a result of this conference, the United Nations Environmental Program (UNEP) was initiated to promote the idea of environmentally sound development. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi said poverty is the greatest polluter. The poor have to exploit the environment to meet immediate needs. This made a strong link between environment and development issues, helping to set the scene for the sustainable development concept. So in 1972, the UNEP launched the International Environmental Education Program (IEEP). So this is, by the way, established by the United Nations. Right. So, what's the definition of sustainability where it is quoted by United Nations? The World Commission of Environment and Development, WCED, issued its report Our Common Future on UNWCED 1987 54. The commission created by the United Nations and chaired by Norwegian Prime Minister Gro Harlem Brundtland defines sustainable development. Humanity has the ability to make development sustainable to ensure that it meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It said that development must be environmentally, economically, and socially sustainable. This report marked one of the most important turning points in modern environmental history. The debate began to shift from identifying crises and demanding new laws to punish polluters, react and cure, to trying to design development so as to be less harmful to the environment, anticipate and prevent. This brought industry into the environmental debate, not just to defend its action but to try to find long-term solutions. Right, so there are also finite resources and also Kyoto Protocol impact on global warming. Agreement under which industrialized countries would reduce emissions of greenhouse gases was negotiated in Kyoto, Japan in 1997, although it was not in effect until 2005, with the notable exception of the United States and Australia. 156 countries ratified the agreement, represent the source of over 61% of global emissions. Countries that ratified this protocol committed to reducing their emissions of greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, sulfur hexafluoride, HFC, hydrofluorocarbons, and PFC, perfluorocarbons, or engaging in emissions in trading if they maintain or increase emissions of these gases. The objective was the stabilization of greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere at a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference with the climate system, by the way. Alright, so increase the urbanization in on world sorry yeah, on World Environment Day in 2005, the United Nations planned for the planet gave voice to the challenge of population movement to urban areas, although this use only 2% of the earth land surface. They use 75% of the earth resources. Okay, all right. So actually there is a rise on tolerance for reason. The recognition of interconnectedness of the buildings, people and community is essential for the creation of an environmentally responsible built environment. The inclusion of all stakeholders and interdisciplinary teamwork are prerequisites for the successful creation of a built environment that supports the health and well-being of both the populace and the planet it calls home. Although the practice of environmentally responsible interior design has only come to the foreground in the past 5 to 8 years, a 1999 survey of 100 non-residential interior designers show that 80% believe that they had a moral obligation to offer environmentally responsible solution to their clients. However, only 37% indicate that they did so. Right. Rise of environmentally responsible design. So interest in environmentally responsible building products. So by the way, if we look at into their the building design compared to conventional building material. So if we look at the green building materials, there is how I can say the entity of the material itself is changed towards green material where it is really healthy and also could impact the user might be I mean increase the healthy increase the health and well-being of the occupants. So if you look at here, conventional building material using insulation, foam board and thermal wrap, but green building material using insulation as well, but wool and wood fiber where green building materials refer to natural material where it is we can find it in our local environment. Yeah, usually also there is a decrease on emission of carbon dioxide to in order to process or manufacture the products. Okay, alright. If you look at into the green material, example for the structure, so maybe we could use straw bale, stone, timber, and also frame. Sorry, in timber frame, and for flooring, we could use bamboo, wood, hardwood, and also stone. But any other green material that we can find in our local environment, yeah, we can just use it for our building. Growing demand for healthier, more energy efficient and environmentally responsible homes and workplace. The establishment of the Green Building Council and its effort to promote policy and program for the implementation of green building projects, and then so on. Okay, all right. So if you look at environmentally responsible built environment, what should include, in the mapping, in the planning, and also for the idea to design art and also built environment. So we have to look at into resources issues, environmental interaction, human health and well-being, economics, and also community development. Okay, all right. So environmentally responsible design growth, where are ecological intentional communities. So here there is a regenerative system and also comparison to degenerating system. So regenerative participating as nature, restorative integrated with nature, sustainable, no harm, and also meaning neutral where it is really environmentally friendly design. Green attempts of progress, conventional following current laws, degenerative destroying living system. So if we say a building that if we say that building is not green because of it is degenerative. Okay, so this is the spectrum of environmentally responsible design. So it is quoted by Lopez and CW 2016. All right. So this is the idea to design or to build or to construct that building. It has the element of green design. Okay, so we can also say as sustainable construction, green design, or as well as eco-friendly design as well. Yeah, eco architecture. Yeah, and so on. Okay, All right, so basically this is the idea of green architecture where there is three R's, TR, which is reduce, reuse, and also recycle. Life cycle assessment also applying of green building index in the design. Okay, but for the green building index topic, we could just check for the model at the end of the module. Yeah, I mean the idea of the green building index, it is applicable or it is matching the idea of the green design in overall. Okay. Alright, alright. What is reduce? So it is impoverished area, decrease and stormwater runoff issues. Assess waste, measure and plan all materials to be used for construction as precise as possible to prevent excess waste. This is reuse as well. Sorry, this sorry. The first one was reduce and reuse existing development to limit extra works on adding or changing the design of existing development, natural features to make use of the surrounding uh, sorry, natural features to reduce adding of new things, artificial features to make use of the existing artificial features such as building structures, etc., to avoid changing and demolition that requires further works and use of extra materials. Okay, right. So how about the recycle? So about the recycle, yeah, might be stormwater, use of rainwater harvesting for groundwater usage in the building materials, maximize use of recycled material in the building construction waste, to consider on recycling the demolition of clearing and the existing building. Okay, all right. So how about the life cycle of a building? No, the building life cycle. Okay, or the cycle, we can say also life cycle of the material. How much do the different building parts contribute to the total impacts? How impact from the material versus impact from operation and energy distributed? How can the selection of materials to be optimized in order to reduce the environmental impacts? Okay, so if you look at here, yeah, I mean it started on the product stage and go to construction process stage, use stage and end of life stage, benefits and loads beyond the system. So I mean the idea of GR just now, reuse, reduce, reuse and recycle, where we can also say it as a circular economy, where we can just regenerative again, no, the stuff that we have been used, so we can just reproduction the material again to be used in the construction. Alright, so green building index refer to Malaysia industry is recognized green rating tool for the buildings to promote sustainability in the built environment and rising awareness. Star rating from 1 to 4 and designation a certified silver, gold or platinum. The building has to be reassess every 3 years to maintain the GBI certification. So basically, there is 6 criteria or these 6 assessment criteria for GBI, which is energy efficiency, environmental quality, sustainable planning and also management, material resources, water efficiency, and also innovation. Okay, all right. So for the platinum, it is from 86 to 100 points, gold 78 to 85 points, silver 76, sorry, 66 to 75 points, and certified from 50 to 65 points. So yeah, we could use this GBI application, GBI rating tools, to make our building green. Right. So this is the idea of biophilic design. Yeah, we could just apply in our design. Right, so it is the same thing as well. So that's all for this model.